Okay, I started off with these little molds that I made myself. I started making really, fancy detailed leaf molds out of, real leaves. And then I realized that, that it didn't really make much of a difference. So I just made these, put some veins in them, and that worked just as well for doing the wafer paper method. So basically I used Lisa Brazel's instructions and I cut the wafer paper. I had originally started hand cutting each of them in like a teardrop shape, but then I gave up because that was going to take way too long to get as many leaves as I wanted. So then I bought this hole punch right here. So that just cuts out an oval shape is what you end up getting. And then so you dip them in water, put them, I actually put some green food coloring in the water with some plastic tweezers. You just set it there. It just molds right down around, and then you just leave it there until it's dry. And then you pop them off and do some more. So then after that, what we end up with is these little things here. They look almost like green potato chips. So these are some of the teardrop shaped ones that I had done. And then these are some of the oval shaped ones that I did afterwards. And I kind of like the littler ones better. They'll work better for my project. So, but they look pretty cool, don't they? So you could leave it at that, but what I have done since then is I took my airbrush and I airbrushed each of these with green airbrush color. So they're darker now. You can see the difference. They're a little bit darker and have some, some dimension, extra dimension to them. So from there, I went a step further and added some yellow onto it. So you can see that, some of the leaves have like the yellow on the edges and stuff like that. There's a good one right there. You see that, how it's got, I hope you can see the extra color. So yeah, there's the difference between the two of them. There's the difference between the two of them with the yellow and then just the green. So, and then I went even one step further and added some red to them so that we have some, nice tree-looking leaves. You can see some of the red that has been added to the sides. I can find one that I really like. I airbrushed at an angle so that you can, it's something else that Lisa taught me, is that if you airbrush at an angle, you see, the shading and the extra dimension that you wouldn't get by just spraying from the top. So you can see some of them have little holes in them, and they're totally imperfect, but that's the way leaves are. So there you go. That's what we do. Okay, so now I have the leaves that I have done. These are the individual leaves. They look pretty good. And I have taken the leaves and glued them together. So I pretty much just used a mixture here. It's kind of a little slurry. Lisa Brazel said that you could use like piping gel, but I thought it would be fun to try this. I took just leftover wafer paper and added a little bit of water to it, and it made this kind of it's hard to see, I'm sure, but just kind of a glue. And that's what I've been using to glue these leaves together, and it's worked out really well. So they're nice and sturdy and stuck together. And this one's kind of still wet, so you can see it's really, you know, flexible. But so I group them together in twos, and that after they've had a chance to dry, I'll actually glue them onto the wire like so. So it looks like, you know, a branch of a tree. So, and there's another one right there. That's what they look like. So basically I just take the glue, use the right end, put a little bit of glue on the end of it. You don't want to load it too full or it starts to, you know, disintegrate and wither up. So then you take the other part and I just kind of squeeze it together and hold it together for just a minute until it kind of moistens the other side and it starts to stick. Then you pull it away and they're stuck. It's that easy. Okay, and then once they're all dried, you're going to take your wire, you're going to take your glue, glue a little bit onto your petal, like so, and then you just kind of stick it down and hold it to the wire for a second. So it does take a little bit of time for it to, you know, stick. But, I mean, there you go. It's that easy. It's really, really pretty simple. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of time. Then I've got some leaves right here, and I'll stick this one on the end like that with our glue. Like that. I'll just hold it there. And then you pull away. Oops, that one didn't stick. It stuck to my finger. Okay, and there you go. So then you just add as many leaves, you know, groups of leaves as you want to make it as long as you want. You can do, you know, I've got, you know, groups of just 5 leaves, and then, you know, I'll have some that are just the 3 so that it, you know, makes it look kind of, yeah, more realistic. That's the way trees are. To let it dry, if you set it down this way, the wire might pop off, so I just set it upside down until it dries. It doesn't take that long for it to dry too, so there you go.